Alright, so now it's time to talk about the new Kagurabachi chapter. We basically continue from what happened last week. The Kubonabi tells Chihiro to stay put as they prepare to leave. Then we get a nice moment between Shiba and Chihiro. Shiba's wondering if Chihiro's okay, and he's saying that, yeah, my wounds hurt, but he can still move around. That's when Shiba really starts thinking to himself that, wow, despite everything, Chihiro's been able to handle himself. He knows that it's frustrating, but he doesn't let his hatred get to him. He's calm and composed, which is an aspect about Chihiro I do like, especially during the fight against Sojo. Like, he didn't really let his anger get to him, or his revenge. He thought about the fight carefully, and his priority was to protect the citizens rather than having to kill Sojo on the spot. So, that was pretty good. That's when we see Shiba have a flashback about when he was 18, and, I don't really know what's going on in this flashback. It seems that Chihiro, when he was younger, was trying to put on maybe his father's pants or something, and she was like, "Wow, katana, katana!" What is going on? This is so weird. And then right after that little flashback, Shiba's like, "You're a prodigy," which just confuses Chihiro. But I think this is a really sweet moment because Shiba knows that Chihiro's matured. He's not the same kid he once knew before, and he's become exceptionally skilled with the sword in just a span of, I think, 6 months. No, not 6 months. I think it's been over a year. I forgot how long it's been, but I know it's a short amount of time, and we can see that Chihiro's definitely improved a lot since his father passed. And Shiba sees this. That's why he called him a prodigy. Even though Chihiro's still a bit confused about that. But you can tell Shiba is really proud of Chihiro and how far he's come. Then after that, we get a good look of Sojo's hideout, and it seems pretty heavily guarded. But Sojo himself is not there. Where we see Sojo, it seems like he's in some sort of hot spring? It looks like a hot spring to me. Or some sort of bathhouse. And he's thinking about what Chihiro said. He's like, father. So that's Rokuhiro's son. And with Sojo being the fanboy that he is, he's really thinking to himself, I've never heard of him having a kid. But none of the books say anything about his life after the war. And the kid looks like a teenager too. So yeah, he's really wondering himself, when did this happen? When did he have a kid? And I know the community is really thinking about that too. Like, some people are speculating that, oh, maybe Chihiro was actually adopted after the war. Maybe his parents had died in the war, and Rokuhira took it to himself to raise him because he felt responsible about what happened. And I know there's some others that are like, no, maybe Rokuhira married, and, he had a kid naturally, and his wife might actually play a role in the story later in the future. So, I'm not exactly sure which side I follow more with, but, I mean, both are fine to me. I think both are possible. But moving away from that for a second, we see these goons show up, and they're returning some sort of stone to Sojo. Apparently, whatever it is, it's traceable, and they don't like that. So, afterwards, they take it upon themselves to try to take Sojo down, with Sojo just easily just slicing them down and filling up the water they was in, just full of blood. And then after that, we see what I find kind of a bit messed up, right? So, Sojo's done with his bath. He's hair drying his hair, just casually moving on about his day like he didn't just murder 3 people on the spot. And then he moves up to the granny, who I assume owns the bathhouse, and he's like, "Hey, granny, hope you called the cops." And that's just, to me, that's extremely messed up, because he could kill her at any moment. Like, her life is in constant danger with his presence. But he's basically using her as a way to get the Komonabi to come to him, so there's really no need to do anything. Which I just find to be pretty messed up. This poor granny, like, I would be completely messed up. And then he just walks up to her and he's like, "Can I get my blades back?" And she's like, "Here you go." And that's when we see the Komonabi show up, and Sojo's like, "Yep, I'm all warmed up." Now, meanwhile, at his hideout, the goons that we saw earlier end up appearing again, and they start talking to each other, and then they notice a fish, like one of the goldfish, just floating about, and they're like, what is that? And then from a distance, they see Chihiro, and they are just spooked. And I find this really funny because one of them just reaches to their phone because it's ringing, and he's like, "It's me. Why are you calling?" And then the other dude on the line, he's like, "Yeah, I'm kind of bored, I'm just guarding, who cares?" And he's like, "I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to call you back." Bro, I would be so terrified. Chihiro I assume kills the other two, sits down, and the goon is like, "What do you want from me?" Just, can you see Chihiro's face? This man is pissed, and for good reasons. I'm pretty sure from here we're gonna see him try to find out where Char's at, and then that's when we begin the rescue mission. But yeah, overall, it's an okay chapter, but it was mostly build up for the next one, and I find it to be pretty good build up. Though the part with Sojo was pretty funny in a dark way. I know that granny's gonna be messed up for a while. But yeah, the part with Shiba was pretty heartwarming, and I really do like seeing how his relationship with Chihiro is growing. Like, I mean, they were already really close before, but I think now they become kind of like brothers, and I like that. As for the Kuminabi, seeing them fight against Sojo should be really interesting, but it seems like the community has like no faith in them. They're probably just gonna get completely diffed, and Sojo's gonna win the fight. I'm kind of hoping that it'll be a little more even, but I don't know, maybe I'm getting a little too hopeful for that. And as for Chihiro, well, I'm just hoping he just slices all these guys up and he gets Char back. Which, seems very likely, because judging from where Sojo's at and the location of the hideout, it might be quite a bit away. So unless Sojo completely annihilates them, I think Chihiro should be able to rescue Char without too much of a problem. But we'll see. Anyways, what do you guys think about the chapter? Did you guys enjoy it? Did you enjoy Shiba's little moment? Did you enjoy how messed up Sojo was being? Do you think Chihiro will be able to rescue Char? Do you think the Kuminabi actually stand a chance, or are they getting diffed? And how do you feel about the whole Chihiro being Rokuhiro's son, or an adopted son? Like, do you think he was actually adopted because of the war? Or do you think that, he actually happened naturally, and Chihiro's mother is going to play a role in the future? Just leave your thoughts in the comments below. I'd really like to hear your thoughts on that. But yeah, that'll do it for me for now. Here's looking forward to the next chapter. Peace out, and take care, everyone.